One of the main questions that's always been asked about Pokemon Go is whether you can get the region exclusive Pokemon from eggs in your region. By this I mean that there are 4 different Pokemon that are region exclusive. One of them being Tauros, which you can find in North America. Another one that was found was Kangaskhan, which is in the Australasia region, and Mr. Mime from Europe, and Farfetch'd from Asia. So the idea is, if I live in the United States, can I get a Farfetch'd from an egg inside of the United States? Well, this question has been asked by many, but I think we finally have a confirmation about this. And the answer is actually no. And I know a lot of you guys will be freaking out, wanting to type comments right now saying, my friend got it, I can show you proof and all this stuff, you know. But the reality is that it's not possible. So, where's my proof, you say? Chuck, you make this bold claim, where is the proof? So, recently on Twitter, the CEO of Niantic, Hanke, actually replied to someone who also had the same question. She asked, for the love of everything that is Pokemon Go, please answer, can you hatch regionals out of eggs outside of their region? And Hanke, the CEO, actually replied to this, which is amazing since usually no one really replies to these kind of comments. So his reply was that eggs can only be found in their natural habitat. So for people who are looking for proof about whether you can actually hatch these Pokemon inside of your region, this pretty clearly shows that you can't. To further support my point, people over there in the subreddit of the Soph Road have actually done their own experiment. One in particular hatched 40,507 eggs in a rough period of 10 hours. With this, their final result was actually they received 0 foreign region exclusives, and that puts it at a 40,000 to 0 odds, which is ridiculous. To put this in perspective, in my 2 months of playing this game, I have only hatched 356 eggs, and that's with consistent hatching. And so putting that in perspective of 40,000, that is a ton of hatching, and they got 0. And if I'm gonna attach the link to this subreddit post so you guys can check it out yourself, but even right under in the comment section, lots of people share their own experience of hatching Pokemon, and all of them are coming up with the same result, that they received 0. So realistically, with both these things put together, with the CEO of Niantic mentioning this in Twitter and this Reddit post, it puts it really clear that the possibility of you getting one of these region exclusive Pokemon from a foreign region is not possible. With these results, we can actually start putting this into the myth category of Pokemon. And Pokemon has always been notorious for having different myths. If you guys remember in Pokemon Red and Blue, people were getting Mews and reporting that they were able to get it through a truck next to the SS Ain. Footage is right here, as you can see. And this is something that I fell for too when I was younger. So it's not weird for these type of myths to start appearing in a game as popular as Pokemon. But how do these myths actually get started? One thing that has been pretty much proven is that a Pokemon egg, the Pokemon inside of it, is actually determined when you first pick up the Pokemon. So you can pick up an egg at a location, and you may hatch it and everything, but when it hatches, it will still be the same Pokemon that you picked up. So this opens up actually the opportunity for you to go to a different region, let's say like an Australian region, and you pick up a lot of eggs there, and when you travel back to, let's say, the United States, you have the possibility of actually hatching a Kangaskhan because the eggs were picked up in that region. There are many reasons why this myth got started, but the primary reason I feel, and the main culprit of all these things, is definitely GPS spoofing. So a lot of people, since they don't want to waste money on data and they don't want to travel and waste gas, have decided that they would prefer to play from home and GPS spoof. And a lot of people, it's not just a little bit, it's a good amount of people play this way. I don't judge whether you play this way or not, but this opens up an opportunity for you to, in a sense, teleport yourself to a different region. So let's say you live in Europe and you teleport yourself to America. When you're there, or when you're spoofing in that area and you go to Pokestops, you could get eggs from that region. So once you're done playing and go back to your own region and just are walking around, you'll hatch your egg. And when you hatch it, you'll realize, oh man, a Tauros just spawned. I can't believe it. See, guys, this is proof that I got this region exclusive Pokemon from America over here. And you'll start putting it on Reddit, Facebook, wherever you guys go, as your proof that it is possible. You may even have a screenshot or a video of it hatching as your proof that it is possible, and you will say it to the world, and that's all fine. But you yourself created right there misinformation about how it's possible, because you didn't take into account, or usually people don't say, like, I spoofed and that's how I got it. They'll just claim that you did it. So spoofers, I blame a lot of them for this, because they themselves may have gotten confused about what was happening. Another thing that can happen is people can actually travel to different places, and they'll legitimately travel to these places through business or whatever they do. And while there, they'll do the same thing. They'll pick up eggs at this region, travel back to their home country, and when they do, they'll, you know, like everyone, they'll incubate their eggs, and one of them might hatch into a region exclusive of another region. And when they see this, of course the confusion comes, since it's hard to keep track of all the eggs and where you got them from. But you'll see like a Mr. Mime or any of these come out of the egg, and you'll say, oh my gosh, it is possible. But not taking into account that it was already determined when you first picked it up. The last thing, or the last possible idea that I can think of, is that there may have been a glitch when the game first began, where it wasn't really setting the limiters to these different regions. Of course, the possibility of this is really small, and it wouldn't be seen by everyone, so most likely if this was the case, it must have been when the game first launched back then, and with that, it could have been possible maybe to get a Tauros from Europe, or to get like a Kangaskhan from Asia. So this is totally possible, and it's another reason why maybe not everyone is necessarily lying, but the chances of it all being true are very slim. And by now, they most likely have patched this. So what does this mean for you? The first thing that it tells you is that you don't need to spend as much anymore on incubators, because before people were thinking, well, as an alternative to traveling to this region, I can just hatch them from these eggs and maybe I'll get them. So for me, that's something that I was trying to do. I was trying to force one of these Pokemon to hatch from an egg, but now that I know it's not possible, I'm definitely gonna die down on the amount of incubators I'm buying and just primarily focus on catching the remaining Pokemon that are possible, which is 142 out of 142. This also means that the only way to complete the Pokédex is to travel to other places, at least at the moment. Then, as you guys all know, this can get really costly going to these different locations, so it definitely is not for everyone. As far as me, I think I'm not going to go for these regional Pokemon, and I'm just gonna focus on completing the Pokédex that's available, which is 142 out of 142. But who knows, maybe in the near future, trading may help out with this and really be the emphasis of trading, as it was with Pokemon Red and Blue, when you had to trade Scyther from one game to switch to Pinsir on the other game. So this might have been their intention all along, just that trading hasn't been released, at least just yet. Another thing that this does tell you is that you may have some dirty lying friends around you that have been spoofing this whole time and bragging about their Pokemon collection, when realistically, with spoofing, it just becomes so much easier. So I don't know how much bragging rights you get with that. So realistically, check your friends, and believe me, a lot of people have been getting exposed on the Reddit posts already. Check out this example. Someone saying that they got all the exclusive Pokemon. Everyone else has to be a liar. But then someone right under this post exposes them right away, saying, hey, check out this image of them posting that they've been spoofing with their friends and trading phones. So yeah, a lot of people will lie, and they'll lie to their death. So just make sure to look at your friend and really see them in this new light. And the best thing is that an update is coming out pretty soon that will help you spot these GPS spoofers. When that update finally releases, I'll make sure to definitely cover that. So anyways, with that, that ends it for this week. Make sure you don't go on crazy witch hunts because of this. But anyways, take care, and I'll see you guys all next time!